Hi, everyone.
Hey guys, how are y'all tonight? Give everybody a couple of minutes to get on here before we get started.
Yes.
You got somebody from Ireland watching tonight, guys. Hello.
We got California, North Carolina, Texas, South Carolina, Oregon, Georgia.
Right down the street.
Yep. A neighbor on here from Dallas, Pennsylvania, Katy, Texas.
San Antonio.
I lived there for 22 years.
Republic of Maryland. What country is that in? What continent?
San Antonio, another neighbor.
Whoa. All right, Cincinnati, Conroe, New York, Lubbock, California, Rhode Island, Ohio. Good evening to everybody. Hawaii.
In New York, Conroe.
Florida.
Texas, Houston, Destin, Florida.
H-Town.
Pensacola, Florida, Arizona, my second home.
You keeping it cool in H-Town, Chantel?
Kansas, Laredo, another Katy, Texas.
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Reno, Nevada, LA, California. Illinois, another Florida, Texas, Florida, Miami, Beaumont.
Got my Alabama people up in here. Hayden. Umpired many ball games in Hayden.
Virginia, Oklahoma.
If you're trying to comment in the Telegram group, it probably is muted right now for the live because most of the admins come over here to help out with this. So got Wisconsin, Savannah, Tennessee, Jackson, Tennessee, Valencia, Florida, Mesa,
Mesa, Arizona.
Isn't that around where we like to go?
Mm-hmm. Cape Coral, Florida, Florida, Tallahassee. So all you realtors that are in here, you can see where people are from and kind of get an idea of how many people are watching from your area?
No, we don't have another Telegram room. Be careful if people are inviting you to any kind of investments or anything. If they are, maybe reach out to one of the admins so we can make sure that we keep an eye on some of that. I know that somebody messaged me about somebody reaching out or trying to scam someone on some Bitcoin or crypto or something, and took a couple $100 and from the guy, and they never heard back from them. So y'all just be careful with people. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We'll go ahead and begin with a prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you in prayer tonight. We just thank you so much for bringing all of us back together to learn from one another, to be able to ask questions amongst each other, and to we just invite you in to help us to learn what you would have us to know, help us to see testimonies that are happening from you, Lord Jesus. And we just ask that you would guide us and direct our path as we continue on this journey that is very challenging and trying with the wait time. And just pray that you would keep everyone positive and to focus on the freedom and not the negative things that are holding people back. And we thank you, and we ask you to work within us tonight in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Okay.
All right, before we get started, guys, this video is for educational purposes only. We are not attorneys nor financial advisors. We do not offer any legal or financial advice. Please do your own due diligence by studying the material that's offered in Telegram or the previous videos that we have done.
Or on the website.
So I guess
if there are any legal questions or financial questions, we can direct those to teams that we have supporting us behind the scenes that are allowed to answer those questions. Tonight's just going to be a Q&A. We don't have a whole lot of education stuff that we're going to talk about. However, it always leads to education as we talk amongst each other because we learn together. So as most of you know, or if you're on Telegram and you've gotten our updates, we have capped. That doesn't mean we're capping forever. What?
Oh, sorry. Okay.
That doesn't mean that we're capping forever. We had some personal things with my daughter having a baby, and just Drew had his daughters in to visit us. We haven't seen them in 4 months. So we've had some time that we've had to spend with family, and it's kept us away from being here on our lives and being able to fully get caught up. So with that said, we decided to cap on July the 8th. We took all submissions up until that point. And we are going to do everything in our power to get what we have processed as quickly as possible so that we can get caught up. We want to continue to have that professionalism with you and be able to take care of what we've committed to with the ones that have submitted their paperwork. So as soon as we get caught up, we will open the website back up for you to be able to submit. If you have friends and family that want to submit, now is a good time for them to start educating, looking at the ebook, just learning the process and everything, watching the videos. And we're going to do everything that we can to get everything done so that we can open that back up. Because I know we still have a lot of people that want to submit paperwork, but we just wanted to, we're committed to the ones that have submitted, and we want to get caught up on that paperwork first. So I hope everyone understands that, but it's what's best for everyone here, and it's what's best for us since it's just the two of us processing. So we We don't have any funds in. However, we have talked to some people in Ogden, Utah. We've talked to some people at the IRS in Austin. They are very, very, very far behind. They've actually contracted a couple of companies out to do paperwork for them. Contract companies, if that tells you how far behind they are. So we still expect to see funds. We're still positive on what we're doing, that it's working and the process is working. We have a lot of testimonies to things getting paid off. There's just a wait time much longer than what we were expecting on the funds to come in. So we still do anticipate those to come in. We just don't have a time frame right this minute of when. We're hoping soon, but again, they're behind. So it's out of our control as to when we're going to get funds, but we're sitting here waiting. And in the meantime, we learn and we do what we need to do to further pay off our bills and do what we need to do in that aspect. And if you have questions, feel free to drop them in here. We'll do the best we can to answer them. If you're asking about statuses, we had an enormous amount of submissions in May and June, which is why we capped it. We have processed up until probably May the 23rd, something like that. And there may be some that are still within that mix of May, but we are somewhere around the 23rd of May, and we want to, we're going to be just focusing on that going forward, along with status corrections. I do want to clarify some things that have gotten a lot of people scared and a little hesitant on the process. When you're doing a 1099-A, you're using a public document. And you do not have to, we've always said, you don't have to correct your status. However, it is good to have your status corrected for purposes of traffic stops or, court cases and things like that, to put yourself in the common law jurisdiction versus the maritime admiralty jurisdiction. That never hurts to have that on record. There's also revocation to pay taxes on there. When you do a status correction, that form is sent off to New York and Washington. There's a lot of things that go along with the status correction, but status correction is basically expatriating from the fraud that was placed against you at birth, putting it on public record, and not to be confused with the secured party creditor process, because that has to do with getting your 98 documents, your security agreements, your hold harmless agreements, your 98 numbers. A lot of things go along with putting yourself in the private. But if you're going to be functioning in the public and private, you want to be careful with and know that you know what you're doing when you do the secured party creditor stuff. We're going to be offering that too in the next few weeks. But we, as of now, are just doing the status corrections. So if you want to expatriate your all caps name from the fraud and put yourself on the land and soil jurisdiction, you have that option to do that with us. And we can answer any questions that you have on that, or if you need to understand that process, just email me at jarrettrealtyinvestors.com@gmail.com. And I'll drop you all of the information that has to do with that. However, you do not have to do that prior to submitting the 1099-A. I know that there's been people talking about it that have scared some people. There's a difference in having a trust, accessing the trust from a trustee standpoint, and accessing the trust from an executor standpoint as an estate. Those are two different things. And so if you're going into the private side and you want to establish your executor of your estate, then that's a secure party creditor process. And that's operating in the private, and that's a totally different thing from what we're doing with the 1099A. So just want to clarify that. I put a clarification, pinned it to the top of Telegram to clarify that so that people aren't afraid that what we're doing is still what we're doing. Nothing has changed. Nothing has gotten anyone into any kind of issues. So just watch the money motives behind some of that when you hear that, and see, why that's being said and that kind of thing. Because if you are accessing from an estate executor standpoint, you do have to have all of your documents done. But if you are just simply submitting a 1099A, you do not. Any other questions that have come up that I need to address? I just know that that's been a big one.
If you emailed us back in May, and we'll get to you. Might have missed it.
There's a lot of stuff in a pile that they're not date specific. They're just in a pile. So we're processing those. I can't tell you for sure where you are in the status. If you haven't received an email from us, you will in the coming days. We're doing everything we can to get all of that processed from the end of May and June. And if it was from the beginning or even middle of May and you haven't heard from us, we'll be letting you know if you're missing anything. And we'll be also letting you know when we know that we're completely done with May, if we've missed anyone, to let us know. So we will make that announcement. But until then, just be patient and we'll get you an email that your paperwork has been processed and sent off.
Yes, the Form 56 goes to Yellen.
So really, if you have questions on the 56, if you have questions on the 1099A process or any of that, go to the website under the library tab and read the process ebook that we have under there. It goes over everything. It literally tells you exactly what to put in each column and where to send it and everything.
No, the 56 does not put you back into their system.
No, the Form 56 is, it's saying that from your 18th birthday that the Secretary of Treasury has a fiduciary duty over your trust to release funds. That's basically what it's saying.
So just to clarify, guys, on everything, everybody that has uploaded anything to the website, I get an email every single time you upload a document. So if you uploaded a screenshot of your payment that you sent us, I get an email. If you upload a 1099A, I get an email. Just because we haven't reached out to you guys from June, I've got people saying they put it in the website in June. We have a running list of everything that is in the website. And as we get it printed and processed, we will let you know. If we have any questions about it, we will reach out to you. So yes, Chris Hauser is fine. He's working on some other stuff. I talked to him last week sometime by text. So he's doing fine.
We don't need confirmation that the 56 has been sent. That was just our advice to you to send it in. But we don't have to know if you did or not. We're still going to do our part and do what we do. But we just advised that everyone send in a 56.
Sheila, I'm uncleared. I've heard you had to denounce U.S. citizenship. Can you please clarify? I don't know what you're.
I mean, if you want to do a status correction, that's basically what that is you're claiming you're expatriating from the fraud that was placed against you at birth. And you're recognizing the fraud on paper, that you really belong on the land and soil common law jurisdiction, not the maritime admiralty jurisdiction. So you become an American national when you do the status correction. Again, if you want to do that, you can email us. We charge $200 to do the status correction. We're still working on those, and we're still taking submissions on those for people that want to have that done. If you've emailed paperwork to us after the 9th to the email, if you've submitted anything to us, just know that we're going to get everybody done through June.
No, we're not doing any trustee training as of right now. When we have funds, we have testimonies, we have everything down pat, and it's actually working without, then yes, we can look at doing some trustee training. Guys, I don't think anybody realizes, but Tara and I put our complete lives on hold. We have not done any of our own stuff. We have not worked until recently. As far as like really worked and done our job the way that we were doing our job before this. We do not get paid 1 penny until the funds come in and either at closing or whatever. So I'm not going to go out and train a bunch of people on how to be a trustee and nothing ever come in. And then you come back to me and say, well, I quit my job and I did this and I did that to do this trustee, because you're thinking you're going to make a bunch of money and nothing ever comes in.
Yeah.
So
until we have a more clear time frame on
we're not controlling the trustee stuff. So you can get that out of your head. There's other trustees out there. There's a lot of them. There are people that have gone just like we have and educated themselves on how to become a trustee. Y'all are free to do that. Chris Hauser has told you many times how to be a trustee.
But as far as us training, we don't want our names on it until we have testimonies to share. We know the time frame of how long it's really going to take to get the funds in, not a guesstimation, because we flooded the system with the 1099As between Chris Hauser, Midwest, anybody else is out there talking about them along with us. They're just flooded with that. And not only are they flooded with that, but they're flooded with people doing their secure party creditor stuff, with taxes, with quarterly taxes from companies. I mean, you've got to think of how much they control. And we just don't want our name on it until we know everything is working. We have testimonies to share. This is a time frame that we experienced, and then we'll put our name on it.
I haven't seen any letters out there from anyone that's filed using another trustee. I mean, we were one of the first trustees to send stuff off. We've not received any letters from the IRS. So, I mean, I don't know what light we can shed on that, because we've not received anything except for a couple of 8888s and 1040Vs that they sent back at the first part of or the middle of May. Other than that, they've not sent anything else back.
I mean, really and truly right now, it looks like the process is going to take at least 4 to 6 months, because we're already we submitted ours at the end of April to title.
End of March.
I mean, end of March.
Treasury received it April 2nd. I've got the proof of it.
And the title company has not received the funds yet. We have another title company that's involved that has not received the funds yet. And that was submitted same time frame. We have some other ones that we submitted around the same time frame too. So no one is receiving anything as of yet. You can read, where can we confirm in writing that 20% of funds can be retained by the beneficiary? Go read trust law. You need to learn trust law because it's all written out in there, how you can manage a trust, how much a beneficiary can take in cash.
I just put the website in the chat, guys, but you're not able to actually create an account on the website anymore because since we have cut off accepting documents on the website, we actually disabled the feature to create the account and upload documents at this time. Once we start back accepting the 1099As, we will open that back up. But you can go to the website and you can actually look at videos. You can get the ebook. You can, there's other stuff, other documents on there that you can actually use for education.
Yes, if you send a watermark copy B, we will definitely reach out because we can't submit that. Jennifer, have you read David Robinson's books? He's the main person that I read. I've read a whole lot of his books, probably the majority of his books.
If you mailed it, if you've already mailed all your stuff, we'll let you know when it comes in. We're going to keep taking those. Because some people mailed them off before we actually capped it. And the way our mail is, if it's supposed to be delivered today, I have to go to the post office to pick it up because they don't deliver to the house. If you send anything 425, we've already processed that. We're done with April. We're just waiting on funds to come in. We're caught up on status, pretty much caught up on status corrections. If you want to submit if you want to submit one, I would say 5 to 7 days. Last month was kind of crazy for the both of us with my kids here and then grandbaby being born and a lot of travel in between. So yeah, last month got kind of messed up a little bit.
Let's see. Does a combat veteran lose their disability benefits when he does a status correction? No. The status correction is not to hurt you in any way. It's just to help you expatriate your strawman name and to reclaim your powers of attorney over that name and stuff like that. So it does not affect your disability at all. As a matter of fact, we have a lot of ex-military within our group that have done the status correction and have had it done, and there's no repercussions to that. It helps you. It doesn't hurt you.
Did the U.S. government go bankrupt again? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it went bankrupt. You want to tell them your story when you went to the bank today? Of how crazy that was?
So I walked into Bank of America today because that is still where we bank. There was a guy there that owned a company. contractor, and he was pulling out a significant amount of money, and they did not allow him to get the amount of money that he wanted, even though he has it in there. So he lost his mind and wanted to close his account and pretty much demanded that they give him all of his money right then and close the account, which they had to do, but they didn't have enough money. They were worried. I heard them talking behind the teller that they did not really have the money to be distributing that amount. So then another guy steps up and said that the greenbacks are worth nothing and that he's about to pull all of his money too, or start pulling it, so that he needed to know how much per day he should pull to make sure that he doesn't lose it if something goes down, and that they need to be expecting to see that more and more in the coming days. So, and the teller actually agreed with him and understood what he was saying. So, yeah, it was pretty crazy. I know there's a lot of humanitarian projects, funds that are getting distributed to different organizations that are starting to see those. So there's some things that are shifting. We are not in the times that we were a couple of years ago. We are actually in a different time. And I believe that there's a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes that have not been released publicly. But I think that good things are going to come. And I would definitely, if you have not considered, I would definitely look into silver, gold. I say silver because it's more affordable, but gold if you have the money. But if you're not investing in precious metals, you're going to regret it. From everything I've seen, you're going to really regret it. So if you want any information on where to buy silver, we have a great source. They're a Patriot source. They're very, everything is minted and worth way more. If you look at the national debt clock and see how much silver is actually worth, you'll see, and that's pinned on our Telegram page. So if you take a look at that and see the actual amount that silver is worth, plus it's minted silver with a card and everything, and you get different ones by state every month if you sign up for the monthly subscription. But if not, you can just go and buy it when you can. But if you're not investing in some precious metals, I believe we're headed, and when the revaluation happens and the rainbow currency comes out, I think that we're going to be backed by precious metals again. So that's just my opinion. That's not my financial advice. I'm just, as my friends here in our movement, I just want you to be aware of that every source that I've talked to, every credible source that I've talked to says invest in precious metals. So, and if you look at crypto and the fall that it's had, I would really take a look at it.
Can you edit a document on the website? JD, I think there was another individual that asked something about downloading a document from the website. If it's one of the documents that we have in there, you can actually download it. If it's something you need to edit that you sent us, you might have to email us, and I'll have to ask the web designer to see if there's a way to edit it or put it back in there. So just shoot us an email and ask that question so I can send that to David, our web designer.
Any books that I recommend? David E. Robinson, All Day Long. If you're not familiar with your straw man, he has $5 books that are really good pamphlet books that you can read quickly. He has one on taxes. He has one on the straw man, common law and what that means, common law court systems, that kind of thing. But money, my mind just went blank.
Money doesn't grow on trees. Is that what it is? Money doesn't grow on trees?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
Hang on. It is right here. Give yourself credit. Yeah, it's Give Yourself Credit. Money Doesn't Grow on Trees is one of the best books that I've read by David Robinson, even though you can't go wrong with any of his books. If you get them, some of them are very repetitive, but I've learned after reading all of his stuff that repetitive is a great thing because then you can speak it. The more you read it and the more repetition you have, the more you're going to know it. So passport for travel with the status correction, all of that has to do with your secure party creditor stuff.
Just takes.
Oh yeah, David Robinson's UCC book is really good too. It is.
Yes, if you're needing to pay off if you're paying off a mortgage using a trustee, then yes, you can add all that. But if you're doing it straight to the company at the lender, you're gonna probably just need to make it for the payoff of your house.
Those questions are all answered in the ebook and it's broken down really well. So go into the library on the website at JarrettRealtyInvestors.com, and under the library tab, pull the process, and it literally puts everything very elementary for you so that you know what to put in each box, and it explains everything for you.
We will drop the Telegram link into the chat before we end tonight, so you guys can jump on it.
Again, no one has to be sovereign or have their status correction completely done to do the 1099-A. You can do the 1099-A without doing your status correction. You're operating in the public on a public document using a trustee in the public. So you don't have to do a status correction, but it's good to have it on file if you get in a traffic stop or if you're going to drive without a registration. If you're going to put private tags on your car, all of that kind of thing. If you're going to revoke your election to pay taxes, all of that's included in the status correction. I'm not sure if the info for silver is in the Telegram, but I can pin the links when we get off of the live tonight. I can go in and pin the link so you can go and look at it. And if anybody wants to talk to someone more in depth about precious metals and what that means to buy silver and their thoughts behind it, I can connect you with someone very intelligent that handles that all day long, that can talk to you with no fee involved and talk to you about investing in that. So I can just I can set up a call for you and them, or the three of us, and we can have a call to discuss that further if that's something that you want more information on. Let's see.
What happens if the price of a house is more than what we have submitted because of lack of housing and prices? That's just a gamble right now. I honestly feel that the housing market is going to bust here before long. It might not be this year, might be at the end of this year, might be the first of next year, but the prices can't keep soaring the way they're going. Eventually it's going to bust. And
well, to that, I can say that we're seeing more houses sit for longer, and we still have a lot of people moving into Texas, and especially Austin area, and the Houston area. Both of those areas I work in, and the houses are not, you don't have 40 people waiting to purchase that house. So it's not driving up the cost like it was, for the first half of the year. But there are houses that are sitting a little bit longer, more like 30 days now, than whereas they would be gone in a day or two several months ago. So it's frustrating not being acknowledged. I'm very sorry. I have 2,800 emails on the Jarrett Realty investors that I'm trying to answer, and I have 1,300 on my Jarrett Realtor email that I'm trying to answer, and that doesn't even tap into the DMs. So we're doing the best that we can, and if that's how you feel and you don't want to work with us because we're not getting back to you as quickly, we're doing the best we can, and we might not be a good fit for you. If that's how, we can only do so much. We put our lives on hold to help everyone, and we're doing the best that we can. But I'm sorry if I haven't answered you back. I'm doing the best I can to catch up with all of that. And I am trying to get everyone's paperwork processed too. So it's nothing personal, not getting acknowledged. We're trying to get everything taken care of on getting paperwork filed and everything. So if there's something that's urgent that you need to ask, you can go to, we have 25 admins that are willing to ask. If the question is not answered in the ebook and it's not answered on the website or hasn't been answered by somebody that's helping just answer in Telegram, then by all means reach out to one of them. And if it's an urgent situation, they will let us know. Does an executor status give one more control over the trust? You're operating in the private side, so you're operating from a different perspective. From a banking perspective, a lot of it's very different, and you have to know how to operate on the private side to go into that status. Because you don't want to mix public and private and get yourself into trouble.
If you have dealerships that are willing to take the 1099-A, they should know how to file the rest of the paperwork. If they say they'll accept it, then they know what they need to file. You're going to get dealerships like the one that I went to that said that they would accept it. We explained everything to them, and then truck was supposed to be on the way, and then 3 weeks later they called me and said, oh, well, we're not going to take it. So
at the same time, I've worked in dealership. I haven't worked in a dealership, but I worked on the financial side working with dealers. And if it's going to take 4 to 6 months like it's taking for us to get funds in, I don't see a dealership taking that option, because they cannot have a vehicle sitting on the lot for 4 to 6 months. At that point, there's certain parts that are considered used. So if the process is going to be at 45 to 60 days is one thing, but 4 to 6 months, a dealership isn't going to want to take on that responsibility, most likely. So it's better to use a trustee, get the funds in, and then go get the vehicle until we see faster results. Hillary Clinton doesn't have a say-so anymore.
I mean, I've not seen anything about Hillary Clinton and the IRS. And here's the deal, guys. How do you think Hillary Clinton and Bill and all of your elites are getting all the things that they want through a 1099-A? Of course, they're going to put comments out there stating that if you use it, you're going to go to jail. No, you got to know how to use it, and you got to know how to operate. If you file it without a trustee, yeah, you can go to jail. If you submit all the paperwork on your own, yeah, you can go to jail. It's trust fraud. But if you're actually operating using a trustee, no. So quit reading the comments, quit looking at stuff like that. It's ridiculous. Every time that there's something that we try to do, that anybody tries to do to better humanity, to improve someone's life, you've got probably 10 times the amount of people out there trying to discredit what they're trying to say.
Just like the medical system, like it goes both ways. They're going to try to keep you entrapped into the system that they have created. And there's a lot of trolls out there trying to discredit the movement for financial reasons on their part. There are, and then you have trolls, and you have people that are going to discredit the movement to try to get you thrown off. And if you buy into that, well, let us know and we can cancel your paperwork. But that's absolutely not what we've heard at all.
Zach knows credit. If your Telegram was hacked, he lost everything. Just send us an email or a DM, and we'll get you another link into the Telegram. No money's been received yet from any of our stuff, and we've had ours out since they've had it since April 2nd. So you're not paying any taxes on any of it. So if the funds come in, you're not going to pay any taxes on it.
It's not a taxable event. Let's see.
Some birth certificates do not have any numbers on them, guys, any bond numbers. Tara's didn't. She actually got a new one in from Vital Statistics. Was it Vital Statistics?
You're going to have to order it through Vital Statistics to get a number on it, because the ones that are coming from there are actually coming with your number on it. But if you're getting it from the county where you were born, or the Department of Health and Human Services where you were born, they don't have the number on them. Some of them do, some of them don't. But if you have an old one that doesn't have a number on it, like mine, I would advise getting it from Vital Statistics. It takes a little bit longer to come in, but it's worth it.
Real talk with Jules. Yeah, you're absolutely correct right there. Everybody needs to know the straw man and learn the process, because it is safer to have a trustee as long as they're educated. Don't be giving it to somebody and just letting them go file some paperwork, because y'all might both be screwed. There's some other processes that to get refunds back. The W-4 sandwich, that's actually, I saw somebody make a comment about it earlier, that those techniques, and if you'll learn some of those processes, you can get some money back. You can also get some things paid off. So yeah, those are other processes to learn. If you've been trying to get in touch with me, it's best to text me. Especially right now with my kids here. We have if you did a 1099-A and you put the CEO on it, there was a letter at one time in the Telegram group under the files tab, if you're in the Telegram, that kind of gives you a template to follow on what you need to write. Website, I'm gonna put it back into the chat. It's JarrettRealtyInvestors.com. What is the amount you get for your birth certificate bond? They start at $1 million when you're born. Don't know what it is from there. I guess it just depends on how many times it's been sold or how many times you've been sold.
Traded.
Or traded on the stock exchange. How do you know when an admin's online? You should just be able to ask if there's any admins in there. And guys, they're the same. They volunteer their time. They have to do their jobs as well. So they're in and out just like we are. They're not all just hanging out in Telegram. So, as they come back through and they see it, somebody will be able to see your question and answer it. The other thing is we have a lot of people, not only do they send me a message, they send every admin a message. I mean, that's the same message. So you got 25 or 26 of us trying to work on the same message, which is not good. I mean, only one person needs to get the message.
Or not.
No.
Skip. Let's see.
We'll be putting the private link to the chat group in here. It'll be in here before the live is over. I just did.
I have my status correction done, but my passport is still the same. I'm still using the same one right now because I have an affidavit of sovereignty that says that because of society and the way things are, I still have to carry that for identification purposes. So I still have mine to use as well as my driver's license as of now. But I have an affidavit of sovereignty on file that says I don't contract and don't agree that I have to have it for identification purposes. until something else comes about that I can use. Same for my real estate license, same for pretty much anything, that anybody that has a professional license. So you have an affidavit of sovereignty that says, because of society, this is what we have to do as of now, but we don't contract or don't agree to contract.
No, so your name on your birth certificate is not going to be in all caps. That is your actual trade name, but your mom signed it as her maiden name, or put her maiden name on there, which turns you into a bastard child because you're a fatherless child without a dad being married. So therefore, when they create your social, that is where the all caps name comes into play, not from the birth certificate.
Yeah. Well, yeah, from the birth certificate, but not from what the original trade name is. But when they created that social security number to enslave you to taxation, they gave you a corporate name, basically. So you became a corporation with a identifying number.
I just dropped the Telegram link into the chat, guys. I'm going to see if I can find where I dropped it and pin it, so that if anybody is not in the Telegram, there it is. All right, so I have pinned the message, or pinned the chat Telegram channel. It will be good for 24 hours. So I would send the 1099-A first and see what happens. And if they do not accept your 1099-A or send it back, then send them the conditional acceptance.
I haven't seen that. Don Mello, someone posted an IRS letter with 2 stubs. One was an inquiry and the other voucher for payment, but to send funds owed. Have you experienced anything like that? Is that an audit? I don't know what that is. I haven't seen that.
We haven't received anything from the IRS, guys, stating if we need to send anything else or. And here's the deal. If we're doing something wrong, they're going to let us know, hey, this is not correct, before they come and crack down on us.
Okay. Okay, no, false.
I'll just do this.
And you have.
I don't know why people are traded different, guys. I've been traded more than Tara on some things that we looked up. Yeah, I know you can't send any messages in what? You can't send messages. Oh, because it's probably on mute right now. It'll be unmuted once we get out of the live, and then you should be able to send messages.
Okay. There's a lot of misinformation that is going on. I mean, I'm just like looking, I can't even comment because I'm reading through all of the questions. You do not have to have an EIN number to do anything. You do not have to set up a DBA. If you're wanting to do your 98s and create a corporation and do all of that, that's a different process than what we're doing. Completely different process than what we're doing. But as far as getting money faster and all of this, the way, if you're working with us as a trustee, doing EINs, DBAs, and all that is not something you have to do this process. There are processes that do that make you executor of your estate and all of that, but that's not what our process is here as far as what we're doing with the 1099. Okay, can you scroll?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can void a 1099-A if it's been accepted. Just let us know. You don't want to go, if you're working with us and you've already given it to us, if you're not wanting to continue down the process, then you need to let us know. You don't want to have two trustees, or that's fleecing the trust. If you're doing the same transaction with two trustees, just try to see whose is faster, you're going to be caught fleecing the trust.
You can email us about the Miracle Mineral Solution. We already take it. I mean, I don't know if you're just asking questions about it, but we take it regularly. We've actually been doing that for over a year. Mm-hmm. So some good stuff. If you need it, gets rid of all autoimmune disorders.
Go up for a sec.
I'm going to address this right here. If you've got a congratulations on the 1099 online, tax 1099 online, that means they accepted your 1099-A with that company. That doesn't, and if there's nothing else wrong with it, they release that to the IRS in 10 calendar days. And then at that point, it's up to the IRS how long it takes. That does not mean that you're getting your funds. There was a lot of misconception about that at the beginning, and we went in and I actually did some looking into it. It does not say anything about funds. It just basically states that your file has been accepted. Everything looks good according to publication. I forgot the number, and then at that point, they'll send it off to the IRS. Same thing as if you had TurboTax and you filed your taxes and they said, congratulations, everything looks good. And then they'll submit that to the IRS in a certain amount of time if everything checks out.
How do you find out how much is in your trust and where do you go? That you can only fully find that out when you're 18 years old, when you're 65. Beyond that, you don't know what's in your trust unless you've done a bond against your trust and the Treasury has accepted that bond. Then that's again secure party creditor stuff. If you want to know about the MMS, just send an email with MMS in the subject line, and I'll go and type in MMS and pull everybody that's wanting information about where to get that. We can help you with that. And we can also, like if you're wanting information about silver, just put silver in the subject line, and then I can go and weed through those all at the same time. It's easier for me to answer emails if you put the subject line the same, so then I can address all of them at one time.
John Thompson, you can go to our website, or you can join the Telegram channel to get information. There's actually an ebook that kind of gives you a step-by-step breakdown on
that's
how to do it, or you can follow
website.
the YouTube videos. Houston, you send off the 56. I don't need it. And the 8888, you don't touch. You don't send that to us or send that in at all. That's something that we file. That's all. Yeah, Michael Smith, I feel you on that, because I did all of that as well when I went to the dealership. But at least they got back to you in 2 days. It was 3 weeks for me.
Okay, scroll down. Let's see if we can find some questions that are new.
If you've already done your secured party creditor and sent your 56 in, you do not have to send another one in. Yes, as soon as we get funds in, we will definitely do a live. We're not hiding anything, guys. I know that there's people that think we're hiding. I've seen stuff that we're racist. That no. We're not hiding anything. We're just working and doing what we need to do. Yeah, we're working through May and the last part of May, any that we've missed in May and June right now. That's why we've kind of cut off accepting any right at this time.
Can you tell us the steps to see what's in our accounts? I have a niece that just turned 18 and my brother would like to see. They're going to need to go to the Social Security Administration, to a high up at the Social Security Administration, and ask what you want to get an on ledger and off ledger balance of that account. They're going to try to just give you an on ledger, which means that if your niece has worked anywhere and Social Security has been taken out of her check, that's the on ledger, because that's what she's paid into. The off ledger is what you really want to know, which is a back office conversation from what I've been told. So you're going to want to go to someone high up and have that conversation.
If you're trying to cancel your 1099-A online, once it's been submitted, you actually have to go in and block it. You go in and actually block the submission. You'll have to pull up the submission, click on it, where it says view, file, edit, whatever, all the little things. It'll say block, and that's what you'll have to do, is block that submission.
Yeah.
So Don Juan, you don't think that the administrative governmental body is going to help us at this point?
Not going there. Some of these questions are in the ebook on our website. Actually, a lot of these questions that we're just kind of skimming through, because a lot of these questions can be answered, and not to bore the people that have been with us. In the ebook on our website, under the library tab, there's a Jarrett Realty Process book, and it is very elementary in explaining everything. And there's also a section of frequently asked questions. So if you have anything that you need to ask, it's already been answered there. So if you have questions on the 56, the A, any of that, all of the answers are in the ebook. Okay. All right. We're just going to take a few more questions because a lot of these are I feel a lot of negative energy going on, so
Lizette, email us and put in MMS or mineral
MMS.
Yeah, and I can tell you where you can get it. Truth be told, email and ask that question too. We'll have to get you somebody that's
Who?
right here with the little title.
Oh, okay.
A low deal title.
Yeah, I have a little bit more information on allodial titles and land patents. So I have some information I can provide on that. So if you email me, I can drop you a little bit of information on what you need to do. I to purchase my late uncle's property. Okay. So beyond. If you want to purchase or acquire some property and you don't know what you're doing, go to the ebook on the website. Again, everything is laid out for you.
Yes, veterans and disabled veterans can participate in the program. You probably have more
yeah, from what
funds.
From what I've heard, a veteran has a lot more funds in their trust account.
There's no telling how many bonds they gave you guys when y'all went off to war. I've pinned the Telegram chat link in up at the top of the page. You can get the ebook from there, or you can get it from JarrettRealtyInvestors.com. Yes, there have actually been several, couple of the admins that I know of. Oh, it says, have you had any success with the A4V process? Yes, a couple of the admins. We have also seen testimonies in the chat on a few of the lives where people have done that and have had success paying stuff off. Guys, I'm not going to talk to the general manager of the car dealership. We've tried that. We've talked to many dealerships. We've talked to many realtors. We've talked to many title companies. And when you talk to them and try to explain it, even though they say they'll take the 1099-A, they think you're dumb as hell. Sorry. But that's just the way that they perceive you, and they're not going to take it. So
all right, let's just wrap it up. Is that
All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. We will be back again next week for another live. We will get back to doing the Telegram Q&A next week as well. So you guys have a wonderful night. Let's go ahead and close in prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this time together. I pray that you would send positive vibes to everyone that is on here tonight. There's been a lot of negativity. Lord Jesus, and I just pray that you would shine your light in people's dark world, and that we would see testimonies coming soon so that we can shine the light on the freedoms that you're opening the door to. And we thank you for this time together and ask that you protect and watch over each and every one of us in Jesus' name.
All right, guys. Y'all have a blessed night. Have a great week. And we'll be back in touch next week.